If you watch the financial news, experts usually talk about inflation like it's a storm rolling off the coast. It's treated as this mysterious, unavoidable event that just happens to make your groceries more expensive every year. But prices don't just rise on their own like the tide. We have to look at whether things getting more expensive is an act of nature or a specific way we've decided to build our world. Let's look at this through a simpler lens. Imagine a quiet, remote village in a very dry landscape. There's no complex banking here, just people trying to solve a problem. To understand why prices change, we first have to agree on how these people create anything of real value in the first place. If the village needs water, someone has to put in the work. It takes real human time, physical sweat, and the skill to stack heavy stones to dig a well. This is where value begins, with physical effort. In a fair system, the money people pay for that water represents the actual work it took to get it out of the ground. The price is anchored to the effort. But imagine a group arrives that didn't help dig the well. Instead, they build a toll booth over the top, controlling who gets to drink. Since villagers need water, they raise the price higher and higher every year. They aren't providing more water, just charging for your thirst. Standard economics looks at this rising price and calls it inflation. It treats the increase as a normal part of a growing market. Looking at our village, we can see that price hike for what it really is, a fee for your desperation. It's extra money taken from the villagers without adding a single new drop of water to the well. Our current financial system is built on this line. It assumes that the money we extract from things like water and housing can keep growing at this steep angle forever. Value physics suggests this upward curve eventually hits a physical wall. A well only holds so much water. A person has limited hours of work. When prices demand more than the earth can provide, the system hits a hard ceiling and shatters. In our village, if you keep taking money at the toll booth but never spend time or effort maintaining the well itself, the structure will eventually fail. The money grows on paper, but the reality on the ground is crumbling. A system that detaches its prices from the physical reality of its resources is headed for a crash. You cannot sustain a price that has completely left the real world behind. This is what happens when we ignore those physical limits. The well runs dry, the stones turn to dust, and the actual resource disappears. Once the water is gone, or the villagers have nothing left to give, those infinite price hikes come to a sudden, violent stop. The market doesn't just dip. It reaches a point where trade is no longer possible. Value physics calls this ecological debt. It's the bill that arrives when we try to use mathematical formulas to bypass the hard limits of nature. From this perspective, inflation is a warning. It's a signal that the prices we're paying have lost touch with the actual work and resources required to sustain our lives. So, how do we fix the system? How do we take down the toll booth and keep the well healthy? We can start by changing what a dollar actually represents. Imagine if every token in the village worked like a receipt for work. A new token only enters the community when someone spends the time to pump a bucket of water or repair a stone. In this system, money is only born from effort. If no one is digging or maintaining the well, no new money is created. If the currency side tries to expand with the work side, the system physically prevents it. This ensures that every token in your pocket is a direct reflection of a real-world resource. If a toll booth owner tries to charge an extra 50 tokens just because people are thirsty, the trade fails. Since no new work was done to create those tokens, they simply don't exist in the economy. The system rejects the fake price because it isn't backed by anything real. When money represents real work, the ability to hike prices based on desperation disappears. The price stays anchored to the ground because the money itself is tied to the well. Inflation is a signal that we've lost track of what our resources are actually worth in the physical world. Value physics offers a way to build a society where prices reflect the truth. It's a world where resources flow based on genuine care and the actual effort it takes to sustain us. By tying our money back to real work and real limits, we can dismantle the toll booths and build an economy that actually protects the well for everyone.